Don't look now, but PlayStation might actually be doing the right thing for once. We got a lot to get through, so let's break that down. Up next. What's going on, guys? It's Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. So before we get into today's news, YouTube is gonna make me sweat this one out. We are closing in on 1,000 subscribers here on this channel. We are sitting at least at the time I'm making this video, which is pretty early in the morning, we're sitting at 999 subscribers, so shout out to each and every one of you guys. Thank you for this. Thank you for subscribing just in general. It really does mean the world. I mean, I look back on the older videos I've done, and I'm like, wow, we have grown here, so thank you to each and every one of you. Well, this is gonna be a little insert to today's video. It's like way after I filmed the initial thing. But as I was about to upload this video, we did it. We hit 1,000 subscribers. We overshot by one, which is great still. I'm very happy. Thank you to each and every one of you guys out there. You know, moving forward, I really want to do more here for this channel. So just seeing this audience and community grow, it's pretty fun. Man, I don't know what to say. You guys are going to make me all sappy now. But I grew up watching shows like X-Play on G4, and I'm like, man, that'd be fun to talk about video games like that. And to now have this audience and a good team over at Game Sandwich. I don't know if you guys have seen any of that content, but I will link that down below. Yeah, like, I'm doing it. Like, I'm doing everything little Kalo wanted to do, and I can't thank you guys enough for it. But, yeah. Happy New Year to everybody out there, and let's have a good 2025. I'm feeling good about it. So, yeah, before I get all sappy, let's get back to the news. So, I think it's safe to say in 2024, PlayStation had some major hiccups across the board. And to that, I look to their live service game push, which resulted in one of, if not the biggest video game flop of all time, being Concord. Now, there was plenty wrong with that game before it even got out of the gate. But this goes without saying, while I have been critical on PlayStation more often than not this year, there were some bright spots. One of the brightest bulbs in the shed was the Game of the Year winner, and my personal Game of the Year being Astrobot. And coming off the massive success of that game, I felt as if that was the bright neon sign that PlayStation themselves really needed to see, because that game proves that 3D platformers in the modern age can still work if executed right. And out of all the big three console makers, and quite honestly, I think I'm gonna put Nintendo aside here since, well, that's pretty much what their thing is, PlayStation is currently sitting on a treasure trove of old and unused IP. And a nice through line with Astrobot is, that game was a celebration of many of those long dormant IPs, like Bloodborne, shout out to the real ones there, I'm really pulling for you guys, Jak and Daxter, Sly Cooper, and much more. This then led to many people throwing the question out there of if any of these games would make a comeback in the modern era. I mean, if PlayStation is willingly putting these titles back into the mainstream through means like this, I'd like to think that's a clear as day sign, well, at least I hope, that they still value these games. This brings us to more recently where PlayStation CEO Herman Holtz was asked in an interview with Famitsu about any of these series coming back. And according to him, that's not entirely out of the question. Quote, the numerous IP holdings we hold are important assets for PlayStation. And as part of our effort to strengthen our portfolio, we are continuously looking at opportunities to leverage past IPs, as well as developing new franchises. Now, this wouldn't be the first instance of a company diving back into older IPs, because Sega is doing that with games like Golden Axe, Crazy Taxi, and Jet Set Radio. Now, I want to be clear here at the end of the day, I don't really think this means anything until we see a plan in motion, but recently PlayStation did add titles like Sly Cooper and Jak and Daxter, the precursor legacy, into PlayStation Premium. So maybe those can serve as this litmus test of sorts for what's popular and what their audience wants to see. I also want to make this clear as day, I don't really think they need to abandon those massive AAA titles that are pure cinematic works of art, like God of War and The Last of Us. I'm more preaching to this idea of balance, and having PlayStation understand that not every game needs to be this massive event. And when we are talking about how expensive these massive AAA games are to make, I'm sure a remake or remaster of an older game to kind of serve as this stopgap between bigger titles could really strengthen Sony's wallets because they could make money off all this. I know money is a big thing everyone likes, so do a few remasters, and please don't make it The Last of Us. Lord only knows we're on like 4 remasters of that already. And who knows, if said remake or remaster pops off, that's not only a good thing for PlayStation's wallet again, but down the line, another entry in whatever series they choose to remake is entirely viable financially. You guys know me, you guys know I love Jak and Daxter, so that's my pick for the PlayStation side of things. But I also look to Xbox and how Banjo-Kazooie has been dormant and it's been pretty much put on the back burner since Nuts and Bolts. Even Nintendo has DK64 sitting there ripe for a remake. Well, hopefully those rumors of a new 3D Donkey Kong game for the Switch 2 are in fact real, but that's only hoping. But with all that being said, I'm gonna pass this one off to you guys. What games do you think need to come back into the limelight? I know there's some Bloodborne people out there. I know who you are, but yeah, let me know in the comments down below. But that about does it here. I've been KLO, I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.